What would be a successful season number one for Mike LaFleur? Will be more in line with JG and Cliff Kingsbury, or maybe Ken Wisenhunt and good old Bruce Arians? BA, we're going to break that down, Johnny Venerable.
Plus, Jacoby Brissett didn't participate during minicamp or OTAs, but he's out at Pebble Beach today. Plus, Bo and I are going to redraft the top 10 of the 2024 NFL Draft. Stick around. Loaded Show starts now. Hey, welcome in. From Studio K, presented by our friends at Circle K. What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday. It's the PHNX Cardinals podcast, your premier, number one in the world, Arizona Cardinal podcast. Like and subscribe. Leave us a 5-star wherever you get your programming. I'm Johnny Venerable. That is Brack in Studio K. Noah Man behind the Mac today. Minicamp may be over, but our work has just begun, Bo.
That's right. You'd think, hey, no Cardinals practice, no big kind of news, but you guys are going to be short on content. Not the case. What's up to everybody? I see you, David, Steven Jackson. How we doing? Appreciate that PHNX supporter emoji. Dustium. Got our guy Eric in here. Arizona Cardinals. No, it does like turtles. Indeed.
He's actually
Brian there. Entire squad just locked and ready to go. G. Willikers, Iron Will. Always good to see Iron Will. It's been a minute. Z-Man, the entire squad ready to go here and talk some cards ball on a Thursday.
It's funny, we were impressed with Mike LaFluer yesterday. His press conference made waves because it's like, wow, this guy's telling the truth and he's being positive and he's being insightful, and no knock against any other coach that's been here, but it's been a minute since we've had that kind of transparency. And then you hear the way players have talked about him, specifically, like Trey McBride saying it's great that he's a part of the game plan. Obviously, he's an offensive coach. He hasn't had that really since Cliff, and that Cliff was on his way out at that point. I don't know. I find myself asking, because there's so much noise and turmoil around this team constantly, are we underestimating Mike LaFleur and his ability to have success this year? And people nationally probably scoff at that, given the landscape of they're projected to lose every game. They think they're going to have the worst pick the top pick in the draft. They think their roster isn't very good. They have no quarterbacks. I don't know. You can find examples in years prior of teams with rookie head coaches that come in with no expectations that immediately have the sauce, that immediately turn it around. Guys, D'Amico Ryans comes to mind. That Houston team everybody thought was going to have the first overall pick along with Arizona in 2024. It's like, oh no, D'Amico Ryans a really good coach. So, Bo, let me ask you, on the surface, as we get into this, are we underestimating, I should say, Mike LaFleur rookie year?
You know what? I think it's become secondary at best as far as how we're kind of trying to estimate how things are going to go, how he's going to be as the head coach. We've certainly had first-year head coaches be a bigger part of the everyday storylines, more so than I think Michael LaFleur. He's kind of had to take a back seat to a wild, chaotic offseason where we knew the assignments with the last two hires for the Arizona Cardinals. Cliff came in, and sure, that was wild. They pivoted off a first-round quarterback for another first-round quarterback. But, Kyler Murray came into it, and, Cliff had this inexplicable rise to becoming a head coach from a failed collegiate head coach. How was this going to work? The experiment in itself was kind of sparked people's curiosity. And then JG was he led the charge. He was part of this new wave of Cardinals football, this new brand and regime that was in town, and like they were going to be him and Monti Ossenfort hand in hand. We're going to usher in a new wave of Cardinals football, and then we were hoping, Kyler Murray at the time, who was injured and rehabbing from an ACL tear, he was going to be a part of that as well. And we didn't know that 3 years down the line, you'd see the direction change and shift and go positively and then just collapse and fall off a cliff, to where now it's just like the carryover continued to have a dark cloud over, despite Mike LaFleur being a guy that the fan base embraced, and then just the off season and just how crazy it was as far as the lack of Kyler Murray's successor and all this and that. Mike LaFleur took a back seat to it. So he's a bit of an enigma as far as who he's going to be as a head coach. Just when you look at his resume, you're looking at a guy who was a non-play calling OC for the last 3 years. And then before that, he was not successful with the Jets. And then you're like, well, nobody's successful with the Jets. So it's tough to really know how he's going to be in this seat.
I was thinking about this, and I agree with everything you just said. And an enigma, I think, is par for the course. And I think people were surprised that he got a head coaching job this offseason. But then you look at the team that hired him, and I think that the same people that said they were surprised he got a job were also saying, well, this is a good hire for the Cardinals. So you can't kind of have to pick your poison there. Here's what I will say. He is coming into the organization not with the same expectations as Bruce Arians, but it almost feels like the same undertaking. If you go back to like Ken Wisenhunt, inherited Matt Leinart, right? He had a top quarterback prospect on the roster, and then Kurt Warner was here. Options, right? I'm going to skip over Bruce Arians. Steve Wilkes, rookie year, they had Josh Rosen, right? They took Rosen, signed Sam Bradford. They had multiple options. And then, of course, Cliff Kingsbury, first overall pick, Kyler Murray, and then Jonathan Gannon. We just signed Kyler Murray that prior offseason. He's your guy. This is our guy. Bruce Arians came here, and there was no plan at quarterback. Leinart was long gone. Kevin Cobb had flamed out. John Skelton didn't work. And so Bruce had to kind of make it up on the fly with Steve Keim, and they got Carson Palmer here, and that worked out, right? LaFleur is in the same boat because, like Bruce Arians, the division is a gauntlet. I remember when Bruce took the job, and it was just starting. Russell Wilson and the Legion of Boom were just starting to, crank it up a notch. And San Francisco had been to a Super Bowl. Really, it was only the Rams kind of frauding it up at 500 with Jeff Fisher, but it's a really difficult division. It's more difficult now, in my opinion, somehow, 12 years later, 14 years later, whatever it may be. But I look at the situation at hand. I think you and I at the time, I didn't love the Bruce Arians hire because I'm like, this guy's over 60 years old. He's going to have to win right away. Well, guess what he did, right? So some comparisons, not, 100% on par, but I do think Mike LaFleur comes in with very low expectations nationally. I think any moniker of success with this Cardinal team, given the perception, is going to, I think he's going to get a lot of praise because Jonathan Gannon, fair or not, a lot of people thought he'd be coach of the year last year, and it imploded, and he lost his job because of it.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's interesting to see Desert Vulture there. I think that's a good point. Fortunately, the surface level stuff for LaFleur is what people are going to go off of.
Yeah.
It's like, what was his role? Rams were the top offense in the league last year by a lot of metrics.
Yeah.
He played a big part of that, and he deserves credit for that. He also deserves credit for having an impressive resume and, being able to work with the likes of Kyle Shanahan and other, very well-respected coaches in this league. So once you kind of break through that surface level, you say, hey, kind of like this guy. And then if you use the BA comp loosely, is it BA 22 years early, right? And when we talked to Ari Mirov of the 33rd team before they made the hire of LaFleur, it was, hey, you're taking a swing on a guy maybe a year or two too early, but man, is it a well-merited swing, especially given the circumstances where you were as an organization. If you get in on LaFleur now, this is the only chance you get a coaching candidate the caliber that he is, versus if he's, sticking around 2 years through the coaching cycles, probably get a better job potentially. So as you try to see, like, is he going to be more JG in Wilkes versus in Cliff Kingsbury versus BA and Wisenhunt, who are both 500 or better? It's really kind of tough to determine on varying factors here.
Before we get into our prediction, Bo and I haven't discussed this, of what we believe a promising rookie year would look like for LaFleur. Let's take a look at the last roughly 6 or 7 coaches for the Arizona Cardinals and their first year on the job. Let's see it, Noah. The last 6 coaches, or 5 coaches, I should say, beginning first with Wisenhunt. Wisenhunt took over a team that was not very good with Rod Graves and company, and really kind of changed their stars when he got quality play from Kurt Warner late in 2007. They had kind of been frauding it up at the beginning of the year with Leinart, and then they thought, okay, Leinart's hurt, and Kurt tore his tricep, and then he got hot at the end of the year. They damn near almost made the playoffs, and of course the next year they went to the Super Bowl. Bruce Arians at 10-6, we've talked about it. 1-2 start, and then became one of the hottest teams in the NFL, led by the offense at the end of the year, went toe-to-toe with San Francisco in the finale. I was at that game in 2013, and somehow placed third and didn't make the postseason back when there was only 6 teams in the NFC. Steve Wilkes, first year, one and done. Fired at the time, tied for the worst record in franchise history. Josh Rosen was a disaster. Sam Bradford was a disaster. I mean, that probably one of the worst modern offenses we've seen in NFL history. Led to Cliff Kingsbury the next year. And fair or not, I think Cliff Kingsbury, I mean, his rookie year compared to what we had just experienced with Steve Wilkes was a breath of fresh air. They were competitive. They won some games late. Seattle with Larry Fitzgerald and Kyler Murray looked good. So a lot of promising marks for Cliff as a rookie head coach. Never really embarrassed himself. And then you've got Jonathan Gannon. Mm-hmm. That was a tale of 2 quarterbacks. Joshua Dobbs and Clayton Tune won 1 game. Kyler Murray came back and I believe went 3-5 in 8 games. So again, if Kyler's healthy that year, maybe things are different. So, I mean, Bo, as you look at this, what do you think his scenario most mirrors?
Man, the scenario that he most mirrors, it's tough to identify, because the cupboard was completely bare for Jonathan Gannon, but right. What you want to take from that is the feistiness of those teams, right? Especially towards the end of the season, as you mentioned, where they could have very well finished 500 over the last 8 games with Kyler Murray in the lineup, right at 4-4. And then you've got, and then you got Cliff, where it was also just as there wasn't a whole lot of talent on that roster outside of just a few of the stars from the previous iteration of the team under BA, with a leftover Chandler Jones and some of the draft picks that, Patrick Peterson was a shell of himself at that point. Mm-hmm. What you want to see under Mike LaFleur is a version of the feistiness from the JG teams and just the obviously offensive innovation that you got from Cliff Kingsbury to an extent.
Yeah.
But there's more talent on this roster, except not having any clarity at the quarterback position than those teams had.
I think it's a perfect way to describe it. Can they be scrappy and competitive from an effort standpoint, like the JG team of 2023, with much better talent and an offensive head coach? And, Kyler Murray played really well as a rookie. He won Rookie of the Year. He won some big games in the division. Looked good on the road, even in some losses like that Tampa game. He threw 3 touchdowns, I think 2 to Christian Kirk. I mean, Kyler was a big part of that year and that the moniker of success that they had. Can Mike LaFleur, with kind of this ragtag group at quarterback, get enough to scratch and claw his way close to 500? Mm-hmm. Can Jeremiyah Love be that special enough for this team to show something that everybody nationally feels like they're not capable of doing? Let's get into our kind of predictions here of what we both would mark as a successful year for Mike LaFleur. And I think you could look at it 2 ways. You could look at it from a record standpoint, which matters. You could also take a look at the optics of how the season goes, quarter to quarter. I will say, if you're telling me Mike LaFleur has a good rookie season, as the head coach of this team, I think he finds a way to win 7 games, and the offense, the run game, there's a lot of promising schematics happening. You can tell like they're buttoned up. It's an extension of the McVay-Shanahan tree. He's doing more with less at quarterback, whether that's Beck, Minshew, or whomever. And then the defense goes from one of the worst in the NFL to like, feisty unit back like what Rollins had in 2024. So I would say if you slam dunk, a really good year for Mike LaFleur as a rookie. I don't care who they beat. They get to 7 wins. That's a really good year for him.
Well, I would say this. I think 6 wins or more would prove he could hold his own as a head coach.
Okay, that's fair.
I think that's probably the bar I would set. Anything like below that, I would say, okay, jury's still out. Let's see if they can find some sort of better solution at the most important position in all of sports at quarterback. Anything more than that, then I'd say, this guy knows what he's doing. Right. No doubt about it. Definitively knows what he's doing. But yeah, year one success, I think it's going to be not determined by wins or losses. It's going to be the offense taking a step forward, becoming without a shadow of doubt the strength of this team. QB1 be damned. Like we heard Trey McBride talk about it earlier this week, like where his strength is as a play caller and that scheming guys open. Yeah. You do that with those playmakers, like you're going to be able to make some noise. Can he, as you mentioned, be buttoned up? Don't have that franchise record-setting penalty day like they did with 19 this past season. Like you can't have that. You got to be a disciplined team. That's what we liked about JG's team in 2023. They were oft, like not very often penalized there. You can look at it from, players in their personal success, like Jeremiyah Love vying or winning the offensive rookie of the year, I think would bode well for somebody like Michael LaFleur. Trey McBride continuing his dominance, Marvin Harrison Jr. tapping into his potential, Michael Wilson staying a productive piece despite, this plethora of weapons. And it isn't viewed, as too hard to really kind of distribute the football around to all these playmakers. Oh, it's so tough. We'll find a way for them to help the offense out otherwise. So I think that's how it would be deemed as a success. And I'll say this because I'm sure people are thinking about it. I think it's a secondary win. It's not essential for Carson Beck to show that he can kind of hang at the NFL level.
It'd be a huge coup for Mike LaFleur.
Yeah.
It'd be a huge coup. I'll say on that second tier as we bring up the schedule, can he win a divisional game? Can he beat Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, or Mike McDonald head-to-head? Something that Jonathan Gannon really struggled doing, especially last year going over in the NFC West. I think Jonathan Gannon, unfortunately, only won 2 games in the division in 3 years. I mean, that's going to get anybody fired. So you look at this schedule right now, and it's like we have a gauntlet early in the year. Those first 3 games are as tough as anybody in the NFL. But you look late in the season, and if things break for this team, and again, this is where it's going to piss people off that are hoping for the tank and the Arch Manning run. The Arizona Cardinals, if they can get 2 wins before the bye, they beat Washington, they beat the Giants. I'm going to tell you right now, I think they can beat the Jets, Saints, Raiders, and Niners to end the year. I think those are 4 winnable games. Mm-hmm. If they could get 3 or 4 wins before the bye, then kind of all bets are off. I know you're scoffing at that, but
I'm laughing because the team tank crowd would be devastated.
It would be a disaster
with a finish like that.
That would be insane. Because here's the thing: Mike LaFleur is going to want to win those games. Trey McBride is going to want to win those games. Let's say they have 1 win before the bye. They beat the Commanders. Man, that's a long time to have to wait for a win. So let's not do that. Let's say they have 2 wins. Let's say they beat the Giants, Bo, and they beat the Commanders. So they're 2 and whatever that is, 10 at the bye. Yeah. I don't even know what that is.
That'd be 2-11. Yeah,
2-11, and they rattle off 4 straight wins to end the year. Like the Niners sit everybody in the finale. The Raiders are done. They have no depth. New Orleans is fraudulent. Their defense, comes back down to earth. The Jets are the Jets, and they get to 6-11. That would be insane. You're still, I think, in a position at 6-11 to get a quarterback at some point if you want one.
Yeah.
But you went from you're for sure in the Dante Moore, Arch Manning run to like kind of like where Bo Nix was drafted in like the early teens.
Yeah.
I think though, if that is the scenario where they just rattle off wins at that last half of the year, then the jury's still out, even though you have 6 wins.
Just because of the competition,
playing,
Noah?
Yeah.
Dan Parker, 7-0 start. From your lips to God's ear, my guy.
7-0
to start.
To start the season?
Jersey Cardinals saying they're going to go 500 in the first 4 games. Who's playing quarterback? Who's playing QB?
Who are they beating? I mean, they're starting off against 3 playoff teams. I think, obviously, I'll agree with people that think San Francisco will see, especially with Saleh exiting. And a lot of confidence in this team.
They saw enough from minicamp. It's amazing when Jacoby Brissett's not around or not participating, how promising the season is to a lot of people. 8-9 is the bar.
If they go 8-9,
he should be coach of the year.
That proves a ton about Michael LaFleur. And I tell you, all you Monti detractors out there, that pushes him into 2027.
Oh, easily. I think 7 wins does.
Yeah.
I think 6, it would be a coin flip. Depending on how it would look.
Yeah.
What's hard for Monti is like, if you have a string of losses to begin the year, he's likely fired. If you have some success, but then you suck at the end of the year, he's likely fired. Monti needs the few wins this team gets. It needs to be like sporadic. It needs to be like, here's a win, couple losses, here's a win. It can't be the 9 straight losses like last year.
Mm-hmm. Put that schedule back up real quick, would you, Noah? Thanks. It's I mean, a win over the Chargers, Seahawks, Niners, Lions, Rams, Broncos, Cowboys would even count. Like, if you get outside of New York, which I think is possible, the Giants,
they're not good. They're bad.
If you beat any of these teams between week 1 and 11, those would be viewed as shocking victories for the Arizona Cardinals.
Shocking.
I mean, maybe we'll see. I'm sorry, no, the Lions. I mean, they were 9-8 in a last place team, and we'll see how the continued change in I guess separation from Ben Johnson goes.
0-17 with that guy doing the offense.
It's
it'd be hilarious.
I mean, if the Cardinals come away any of these Sundays against a Broncos team, against the Niners team, against the Rams or Seahawks team, people will be like, wow, that's a good win for Michael LaFleur. That's a signature win in the first 11 weeks.
Especially because most of these teams we're talking about, you would do it in their building.
And to go 8-9, you'd have to have multiple of those.
Could you imagine if this team won 8 games? People's faces would melt. I mean, it would just be, people wouldn't know how to handle it.
I mean, I think locally, because people know it's not just devoid of talent on this roster. It would mean real steps forward from these drafted players and good coaching. Like nationally, people will be like, what the hell is this? Where did this come from? Because they just think that this Cardinals team is a dumpster fire.
They think it's the 2023 roster.
Yeah, they do.
All right. Well, put in the chat, what do you think a successful year for Mike LaFleur looks like? Bo and I are back around the corner. Yes, we're going to talk about it. Jacoby Brissett teeing off at Pebble Beach. That and more. It's PHNX. The World Cup has arrived, and so have our friends at Don Julio. When the biggest sporting event in the world comes in our backyard, toast with the icon of celebration, Don Julio 1942, during, of course, the 2026 World Cup. It's made to be raised. It's not made to, pass off to the side. It's my iconic bottle, and the 3 different options for the World Cup are available near you. They've got the original, the icon of celebrations, of course, the trophy for legends on and off the field, and the mini for small but iconic moments. That's how people classify me, small but iconic, Bo. The trophy everyone can take home right now, that special edition Don Julio 1942 that honors the tequila-making symbol. Timeless is the beautiful game itself, and inspired by the FIFA World Cup trophy. Whether you're at your favorite spot, stocking up at home, make it a Don Julio 1942, Bo.
Gotta love it. Also, look, synonymous with our great state, along with Johnny Venerable, is One AZ Credit Union, rooted right here in Arizona and invested in you. Thank you for listening and viewing. Listen, we want to hook you up. $350 for new member bonus for a limited time when you open up a new checking account with One AZ Credit Union. It's unbelievable. You go to Cardinals preseason game that pays for food and a couple jerseys. One AZ has been serving Arizona for 75 years, helping people buy cars, start businesses, plan for the future, and they love working with people who actually know the valley or are part of the valley. They've got 25 branches across the state, plus online banking app, which is essential. Always have your money easy to access. And if you also need financial coaching, notarizing documents, whatever you need, they've got you covered at One AZ Credit Union. And don't miss out on the $350 new customer bonus. Use the code CHK358. That's CHK358. Terms and conditions apply. Visit oneazcu.com for all the details.
Unbelievable super chat from the GOAT is back. It's Ranger dropping a 100 spot here. Well, if they win one or two games before the bye, they will be trading players away to tank. Not a terrible theory. Josh Sweat probably gone. I mean, but who do they even have to trade? I mean, Sweat, would obviously Budda Baker probably be available to whomever would want him. If James Conner's still on the team by then, we'll see. Yeah. But they're not going to be they wouldn't shop like Marv or anybody, I don't think.
Yeah, we'll see how the start of the season goes. I think it's going to come down to especially when you talk about Conner or Benson, what are other teams going to have seen from those players that's going to make them attractive enough to dish out some draft capital for them? But they win 1 to 2 games before the bye. Yeah, I mean, and that's where those final four that we've talked about, Saints, Jets, and Raiders, and the Niners finale, it becomes a little bit tougher. The race to the bottom, it's going to be competitive, but are they going to gear themselves up for it? It's possible. It's very possible, especially if Monti Ossenfort is sent packing before they reach that point of the season.
Ranger, we appreciate you, my guy. Thank you for that hundy. And you drop it a hundy every day.
Crazy.
He is participating. You know who's not participating? As Desert Vulture gives us 5 gifted memberships. Desert Vulture, I wasn't going to talk about you. Desert Vulture, you are participating. Rangers participating. Jacoby Brissett not participating in off-season team activities.
I think he's back participating. He's just...
Oh, is he?
Just in anything that's not involved with the Arizona Cardinals.
Cue it up, Noah. Where's Jacoby Brissett? He's at Pebble Beach, fresh off, not participating in anything this offseason, as he's looking for what we assume to be $20 million to be a starting quarterback of this team. He is out west in California. Here it is.
Wow, look at the camera work. On his Instagram, here's Jacoby about to tee it up at the iconic Pebble Beach just outside of San Diego. 79 watch. I'm holding out for more money, but watch this drive. Ping!
Not bad, but he does have a little bit of a hitch at the top of his backswing.
There you go.
Maybe he can give up football and work on golf full time. How about that?
Oh, man. Just more bad optics.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was worried today.
Less than 48 hours ago, he was standing around a practice field.
I thought there'd be some people. I haven't seen one comment like this. I thought there'd be some people that basically would say, give them a break. It's the off season. They have time off. Like the rest of these guys, Budda and all these other guys, they get out of town. I didn't see one comment like that from our posts, from other posts. Overwhelmingly, Bo, it was get rid of him. Bad optics, as you said. This is a joke. Walk me through officially for all 300 people watching live why you believe it's bad optics.
Yeah, and sorry, it's not outside of San Diego. It's in California.
Yeah, it's in California.
But it's not a good look from the standpoint of mandatory minicamp was the checkpoint that he needed to end this holdout and report to the Arizona Cardinals so then he could hold in. So he made his way from, there was, talk that he was in Florida. So he made his way from very east to west. And then he was just like, hey, while I'm, reporting the mandatory minicamp so I don't get fined, but not participating in practice, immediately after that, I'm going to make it a golf trip out of this. I'm going to go hit the iconic Pebble Beach and see what that's all about. So it's not just a complete, wasted trip.
Don't see any teammates out there with him. Everybody talking about, Jacoby, his teammates love him.
We don't know who he's playing with.
I didn't see any of his teammates with him.
I'm sure his teammates, if he had asked, would play with him. But it's just next level bad optics in a situation where the optics have never been good from the jump.
I agree with you, and I also think if it was about playing golf, wouldn't he just not post it on his Instagram? Are a bunch of people in Pebble Beach taking photos of Jacoby Brissett playing golf today? Probably not. He posted that. I mean, you'd have to think from Jacoby's standpoint, like him posting that, he's got to understand, like, oh yeah, people aren't going to love this. People are already not happy with me. Because like he's not like posting actively on social media, but I guarantee if he's on Instagram posting this, he sees everything else. And like, fair or not, he's made himself out to be the enemy of Cardinal fans. At least on the internet, these people who follow this, that track this on a daily basis like we do, everybody is anti whatever this is, because the Cardinals last year were an embarrassment. They were the worst team in the NFL at the end of the year, and he was the driver of that as the quarterback. And the Cardinals named him the starter. That was a mistake, and now he's asking for more money, and he's not like everybody in the last segment's like 8 wins, 9 wins, starting 4-0. It's like nothing suggests that they're going to start fast with this guy quarterback based on his history, based on last season. So like the only way, and maybe I'm in the minority here, the only way that you're catching lightning in a bottle is with somebody that's not Jacoby Brissett. And I think a lot of Cardinal fans feel that way.
I still think there's people that believe he can still outperform, the backup quarterback status, but like the conditions have to be like perfect for that to happen.
Right.
It's still like, as far as like Jacoby goes, like he has to be elevated by the supporting cast and the infrastructure that's in place. Like he has to become this game manager and really play that role to a T. But you have to have good defensive performances in from your wide receivers to your tight ends to your run game to your offensive line, all have to be locked in for this thing to translate to wins. And it's like, it's not the worst thing that less than 24 hours after the Cardinals officially ended their mandatory minicamp that the guy's already on vacation. It's just, it is just a tough look though. Like given that 48 hours ago, he was a guy that was a non-participant in a very, I guess we'll say medium profile holdout.
What this also does is that if and when Jacoby Brissett regains the quarterback one status, and if he struggles, people are going to turn back to, well, this guy dicked around the entire offseason. He didn't take it seriously. He wasn't at anything with the new program. He went on vacation and played golf and bragged about it on his Instagram. That fair or not, and I'm not saying that's my perspective, that will be the overwhelming perspective of everybody. And I also think we're talking about setting LaFleur up for success. It's just not a good look to saddle Mike LaFleur with this, with your fan base. Because even if Mike LaFleur thinks he's better, wants to go to bat for him, this is a losing proposition outside of knowing that he can win games for you. Because fair or not, there is no way, if you put Mike LaFleur under a lie detector test and ask him privately, do you know definitively, can Jacoby Brissett be a winning quarterback? Even if he likes him a lot, there's no proof of that. So like, why saddle yourself up for the start of a season like this that inevitably is going to end poorly? It's like Jonathan Gannon in his first year. It was like, They didn't get a good quarterback to bridge it to Kyler Murray. So we all knew what those games were going to look like for the first 2.5 months, Bo.
Yeah. Kyler Murray said this at some point during his tenure here in a press conference that, he understood the benefits and the burden of being a starting quarterback. And, when the team's winning, you're probably getting way too much credit. The team's losing, you're probably going to get too much blame. In this circumstance, as we nitpick Jacoby Brissett during vacation time playing golf, it plays into the burden of being starting NFL quarterback or wanting to be, viewed and paid as a starting quarterback. You're going to receive criticism when you've been away from the team and you haven't practiced and you're asking for more money in less than 24 hours from the team breaking mandatory minicamp. You already be teeing it up in California at an iconic, golf course. It's just going to be perceived and looked at and panned negatively.
Yep. It's a great point. Nobody cares if, Walter, and maybe not Walter Nolan because he's been injured, but Isaiah Adams goes and plays golf, right? Trey Benson, these guys that are factors, but not huge factors, certainly not the quarterback. Max Melton go play a little golf.
He plays all the time.
Right.
Yeah. It's he posts on his Instagram. It's great. It's fine. I don't think Buddha would know, and the guys would never do this, but it is kind of feels like if you had just lost the game and then the next day you're on social media posting hey, I'm doing something fun. The fans are going to riot.
The people who are invested in this team, the people that watch our show, that buy season tickets, that live and die with this team every Sunday, saw this team be the worst team in franchise history last year, led by that man. Fair or not a quarterback. Just because he had some good statistics does not erase the end result of all of those games he started. And it's Jacoby Brissett isn't guilty of this, but we've been through hell for the last 3+ years in a rebuild that's seemingly never ending. Having the optics of hey man, this is a big year. We can't wet the bed with another rookie head coach. We need to set him up for success. What are you doing to support that? And he's I actually want more money. Be well, you won one game last year. He's I'm not participating. And I'm going to go play golf. And not only am I going to play golf, I'm going to brag about it and put it on my Instagram. It's just that he's not making any fans. And this is only going to get louder and louder. We have a long way to go before training camp. There's a lot of time for this to get even more muddled for the Cardinals and Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah. It's not the worst look. It's a tough look, though. It's a tough look.
We're back around the corner. We're doing something I've wanted to do for some time. The 2024 draft was supposed to be the crescendo for Monti Ossenfort's rebuild. We're going to redraft the top 10. Is it as good as perception? Time will tell. PHNX Cardinals is back right after this. Hit that like button for our friends at Circle K. I like to have it any time of the day, frankly. Think beyond the pump. Yes, they offer 25 cents per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups. Save 5 cents per gallon every day after the fact as you are a member of the Inner Circle. But again, fill up inside, divulge inside as well. Current promotion, 79-cent Polar Pop, 99-cent Froster. How about this? This will get you juice, Bo. 2 for $6 of the 12-ounce Red Bull. We're making some travel here in the fall. We're going to be juiced up on Red Bull. We're going to start with Circle K. And then, of course, drink responsibly with any of the 3 16-ounce Bud Heavy, Bud Light, or Michelob Ultra, just $1.50 each. I love it. Save 25 cents per gallon when you buy 3 Coca-Cola products, 20 ounces. Again, go on the Inner Circle. I encourage everybody. Just takes your phone number and you're good to go. You're saving money every single time. I promise you. Join the Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for more details.
Last summer, the Brack and the Venerable families got together for a little staycation, sans Noah, and it was magical. And our partners over at Gila River Resorts and Casinos, they said, hey, let's make it tradition. You guys want to come out this summer? Of course, Johnny and I replied, yeesh. give us and sign us up for that because of 4 locations across the valley. You're set up to have an unbelievable time. Not only are they Arizona's #1 casino destination, they seriously just know how to do sports right. We talk about all the time the World Cup. Go check out any of those matches at the BetMGM Sportsbook, which is built for fans. Wall-to-wall TVs, massive screens, incredible viewing setups, and flexible ways to bet while that action is going on. Whether or not you're sweating out the same game parlay or cheering on your squad with friends, just looking for the best game day atmosphere in Arizona, this is the place to be. Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Grab your crew, celebrate the big ones, enjoy everything at Gila River Resorts and Casinos has the offer. Gila River Resorts and Casinos, always you do you. Visit playatgila.com for more details.
I want to have fun. Let's have some fun because I know that Marvin Harrison Jr. is under immense amount of pressure this year to perform.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to contextualize that he is not alone. And when you also break it down from the standpoint of who else was taken around him, there are a lot of people that have to step up. And he, I think, is in one of the best spots to do that, given his health, structure, quarterback, hopefully ascension, and his head coach. So Bo and I are finally, it's been in the works for a minute, are going to redraft the top 10 of the 2024 NFL draft. I'm going to gift Bo the 4th overall pick, which means I will start first on the clock. So let's see the template, Noah. We got the template up here. The Arizona Cardinals are 4th. Chicago Bears, Commanders, Patriots, Cardinals, Chargers, Giants, Titans, Falcons. Remember, Bears had 2 1s that year. And then the Minnesota Vikings. So this is how it went down. That was probably, in my lifetime, the most high-profile draft ever. I mean, just given the prospects, the quarterbacks, the star power. But I think, like, we're 2+ years removed. And here's the results here. Did it live up to expectations? Before we start, Bo, go ahead and just break down the 2024 draft results and why you think it could be struggling.
Why it could be struggling? I think you're seeing, obviously, some of these organizations that just traditionally have struggled. It's not like the teams that hit on the quarterbacks, you've seen them take a step forward. And when Daniels wasn't available for Washington, they went back to struggling again. So good job on their behalf. But, you know, especially in the back half here, you just didn't see a whole lot of availability, and you didn't see a whole lot of production from a lot of the prospects here. It's not like the worst. Like, I think especially once you get past like McCarthy, you'll start to find some more productive NFL players. But this was supposed to be like a generational draft. Like,
right.
These guys were supposed to be franchise-altering guys, and they've just been from, you know, semi-productive to like the star power isn't what a lot of people anticipated when the college season was going on before this draft and when these players started coming off the board.
Yeah. It's going to be tough because I think maybe we'll show biases. Like, I still like a lot of guys that haven't produced yet, but I mean, like, they could get pushed out just given the fact that other guys have performed. And here, one other thing, a caveat before we get started is, like, I counted before the show. There's only been, I think, 1 Pro Bowler that was taken outside the first 2 rounds.
Wow.
So it's like, that's that 3rd round where Monti Ossenfort put all of his chips in. Isaiah Adams, Trey Benson, Tip Ryman, and Elijah Jones. That was one of the worst 3rd rounds in recent memory. It was only Kalen Bullock, the safety out of USC that went to Houston, picked 78. He was the only Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
And the 2nd round only has 2. Now, will either of those 2 sneak into our top 10? That remains to be seen. So let's get this party started. Let's redraft the 2024 top 10. I will get things started with the Chicago Bears. Let me start this first by saying I like Caleb Williams a lot. He had a rough rookie year, and last year he was phenomenal down the stretch. He also is yet to complete, I believe, 60% of his throws in 2 seasons. And I worry about the amount of turnovers that he has. I still believe he has the highest ceiling of any quarterback in this draft. And last year, 27 touchdowns, just under 4,000 yards passing. He's a really good player. I'm going to take Drake May first overall. Wow. The quarterback that I deem Drake May will bust. I laughed at the pick. I can't ignore the fact he was sensational this past year. He had 31 touchdowns, 8 picks, 4,400 yards passing. He rushed for 4 touchdowns. Now, again, the competition was gross. He had a little bit of a cakewalk to the Super Bowl, but it was between, for me, Caleb Williams and Drake May. I like Drake May because I feel like he's in more control of his game. I worry about Caleb Williams.
Man, like, you can make a case for all 3 of these guys.
Sure.
To go one. And if this was after their rookie seasons, everybody would have said Jaden Daniels because he lit the league on fire so much so, took them to an NFC championship game appearance. And you're just like, oh my God, what did Washington get at 2nd overall? But I don't know. I still like Drake May hasn't beaten a lot of good teams.
No, he hasn't.
He played pretty cupcake schedule, but look, you got to give credit where it's due. We went to the Super Bowl. I probably would have stuck with Caleb at 1-1.
I was debating it all day.
Yeah.
I was going back and forth, but then Caleb's got to complete more passes. No.
I'm going to take Caleb Williams 2nd overall.
Fair, totally fair.
With Washington. And here's my concern about Jaden Daniels. I just think that he's just his frame and how he got injured and the hits he takes, and especially being a mobile guy. I just have my concerns as far as just his durability. And Caleb Williams, I don't think has missed a game in his first 2 seasons.
No. Caleb Williams, 1A, 1B. I mean, I think these are the 2 best players in the draft right now. And people think New England's going to be terrible this year. I disagree. I think Drake May is still going to be good. There were so many games, like they were on late in the afternoon because they were on prime time and CBS, and Noah and I had both games on. He was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Now, what Caleb did late in the year against the Packers, and of course in the postseason, almost beating the Rams, like that's what's fresh in everybody's mind. So I'm with you.
There was a significant drop off from Jaden Daniels from year 1 to year 2.
Easily.
So
the injury thing you can't ignore.
Right. But he went from completing nearly 70% of his passes to 60% of his passes. In Cliff Kingsbury's offense.
And then they had a falling out last year, and then you had executives for the Commanders trying to tell Cliff what to call. And then I think Cliff either resigned or he got fired. Jaden Daniels is the 3rd overall pick here, kind of by default. I would not put Bo Nix ahead of Jaden Daniels. That's ridiculous. But I do think, like, if Jaden Daniels gets hurt this year, like, it's not over, but is it kind of over? Like, is he an RG3 kind of esque career? I remember watching him run around that rookie year, and he went to State Farm Stadium and whooped the Cardinals' ass. It was the most dominant performance. He took Jonathan Gannon to the woodshed, he and Cliff Kingsbury. But you watched him run, and then it's like, well, this guy's going to get hurt eventually. And he's so thin. He looks even thinner this year. Mm-hmm. So I think Jaden Daniels is clearly number 3 right now just because of the questions about his durability. If you tell me he's going to be healthy, then he's a really good player.
All right. Should we save the Cardinals for the other side here? Let's get to our last break.
Yeah, you got to make this decision. This is a big decision for you.
Yeah.
So fired up to talk to you about our friends at Michelob Ultra, my beer of choice. And as the World Cup kicks off, the official beer sponsor, the FIFA World Cup and the U.S. men's national team. Unbelievable. The entire planet locked in on the World Cup. We got a watch party going on. We got 24-hour coverage here in the Valley, and Michelob Ultra right by our side. They're brewed right here in America, and it's the best beer to match the moment. Whether you're packed into a bar with us, watching at one of our watch parties, or just at your house, chilling, yelling at the TV at home, for every match, every goal, every play, the world's biggest stage, crack open something superior, Bo. Here's the best part about Michelob Ultra. Great taste. You feel good after it, and it's under 100 calories. That's what I'm looking for. I don't want these bloated beers that are not going to taste good going down, and it's doubly bad because they don't feel great afterward. Michelob Ultra, it'll set you straight. It'll get you going. This proud sponsor of the U.S. men's national soccer team and official beer sponsor of the FIFA World Cup 2026. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2026 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
I want to take some time and thank you for watching and listening and just being a part of this PHNX community, Ranger, Desert Vulture, whoever you are. Thank you for being a part of this. Seriously, whether you're tuning in every day for training camp buzz, Carson Beck updates, propaganda, or the latest drama around this team that we love, we appreciate every single one of you. And because we want to keep making these shows even better, we'd love your feedback. We've launched a super quick survey to learn more about how you watch, listen, and the content you want more of moving forward. It only takes a few minutes, but it helps shape, of course, the future of the PHNX Cardinals and PHNX Sports, all the shows here that you love. Plus, everybody who responds, you get a chance at this $100 Amazon gift card. That's right. Get yourself a $100 Amazon gift card. You can win it, but you have to participate. Give us some help as far as taking our survey. Take a second. Head to gophnx.com/contest. Let your voice be heard. Again, that's gophnx.com/contest. And thanks again for being a part of PHNX.
All right. He's had time to consider his options. Quickly recapping the first 3 picks. I took Drake May, Bo went Caleb Williams, and then Jaden Daniels went to New England. Cardinals' 4th overall pick we know is Marvin Harrison Jr. in 2024. Bo, where do the Redbirds turn now?
Well, they can turn a couple different directions here. You've got premium positions, a couple quarterbacks left, no doubt about it. You had a very good defensive prospect emerge in Jared Verse. Would you take the pass rusher? All those pressures, those precious pressures, Johnny, you love them, right?
No, I don't.
12 sacks, right? You've got, a cornerback that has risen up the ranks, I think, in Quinyon Mitchell. You've got Joe Alt, who I know missed a lot of last season, but he's no doubt about it, a franchise caliber tackle. But this is a team that needs a quarterback. And it will, much to the dismay of our friends over at DMVR, if we were to rewrite history, the most total touchdowns in that class doesn't belong to Caleb. It doesn't belong to Drake May. It belongs to one I share my namesake with, one Bo Nix.
I know I had that ready to go. I approve. We're living in this fresh hell right now. Bo Nix threw 29 touchdown passes as a rookie, threw 25 last year. Marvin Harrison Jr. is only as good as the quarterback throwing to him. And Marv is no sure thing. Let's take this off the screen for a second and just digest the pick, because I remember turn the clocks back 2 years ago, you at the Senior Bowl.
I know.
Mocking Bo Nix for skipping balls, and now we're redrafting the draft where they ended up with Marv, the player we all wanted, and we're down so bad right now that we would prefer to have one Bo Nix get the barf bag out. I don't think it's the wrong pick, by the way. It's probably what I would have done as well.
I want to apologize to my past self for my actions today. Rather than apologize for what I had said in the moment, what I truly believe. You go and you get yourself Joe Alt. You go and you get yourself, the pass rusher in Verse. You go and you get, who was considered the top, pass catcher there. And I don't think any of them are like perfect anymore. Like Malik Nabels, we don't know if he can play again after that leg injury.
He exploded. Yeah.
You would have said like before the injury, yeah, he's wide receiver 1 in that class. And that's an easy selection. But man, like you guys, if you're just tuning in and you see me making this pick, you know how much it pains me to do so.
It's the right pick.
I think Nix in a West Coast style offense too, it still suits, what he does well. Yeah.
Is he good here without the infrastructure put on by his head coach? Sean Payton, we wanted him. I mean, is Bo Nix good with Mike LaFleur?
I think the same cases like people were making for, why you think you could find success in a Malik Willis or why you think you could find success with Ty Simpson. Like Bo Nix is a much better version of those guys. It's not even like they're not in the same tier.
It's fair. All right. Cardinals.
I get it. Like I want to fire myself, Arizona Cardinals. I do, but
I gave you that pick, by the way, as like a gesture, but really it was just like a grenade. I knew it wasn't going to go well. I didn't want that responsibility.
You're such a bad guy.
Uh,
Like, what other direction do you go?
Joe Alt's the only other option.
Yeah.
Bo
I think Jared Verse is in that conversation.
No, Jared Verse. Come on. I think the people of Cleveland are going to find out. Jared Verse. Nah.
Jared Verse has like 50 plus pressures.
How many sacks does he have? Zero double-digit sacks.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's like 4 sacks. Joe Alt would be the only other direction. But like, what good does that do you without a quarterback? The Chargers have a quarterback. This is an easy pick for me. Chargers at number 5. Joe Alt.
Yeah.
No, I had it updated before I even said it. Goes to the Chargers in the only redraft of the same player for that original team, Bo.
Man.
So Joe Alt, we knew Gannon loved him. He told us at the combine. There was whispers that the Cardinals could take him. He has missed time due to injuries. Back this year. He's phenomenal as a rookie, but I think even as a rookie, he missed time. So, I mean, even these guys that we love that are sure things, it's like, they got to get on the field. So,
yeah.
Joe Alt's number 5, and you're on the clock with the Giants.
New York Giants, a little bit of a wild card here. Of course, they took Malik Neighbors. I just don't think you could do that today. Like, nobody's making that big of an investment in Malik Neighbors, despite the talent. The talent screams like he's better than the 6th overall pick.
Mm-hmm.
When I hold off on taking the first wide receiver, I'm going Brock Bowers here.
Fair. That's what I would do.
No, I had that one locked and loaded too. What do you read my mind?
Maybe.
Are you Oz the mentalist?
Maybe.
Listen, you got a lot of shit for the Bo Nix pick. I hated Brock Bowers before this draft. I thought he was slow. I thought he couldn't play. He needs to shave his head. That's a bad look, but otherwise he's a freak. That's the right pick for them.
Look at me. I just took Bo Brock. My last 2 picks, 4 and 6.
How about it? Brock Bowers is the best pass catcher of the draft so far. No one saw that coming. All right, I get to fraud it up with the Titans, a team that has no future or past. The options aren't great. They took J.C. Latham originally. He's been pretty okay. It's been fine. Average to below average. Certainly not worthy of a top 10 pick. Man, like, obviously you're not taking any of the wideouts here. I'll tell you who's been pretty good is Byron Murphy for Seattle. I think he's the best defensive player that nobody talks about from this first round. I'm not a verse guy. I'm going to go Byron Murphy the second, defensive tackle, Texas, who I loved in that draft.
Yeah.
He's a Super Bowl champion. He's a starting D tackle on a Super Bowl team. So I'll go defensive line for Tennessee here.
I mean, Murphy and Jeffrey Sanders would be pretty dirty.
Yeah.
Simmons. Jeffrey Simmons. That's why I think they would go verse. You're a bad GM.
Yeah. All right, fine. Put Verse on there. Sorry, Noah. Jared Verse. That's fine.
No, who'd you have originally? I know you're just cooking away over there. Trying to do predictive picks.
I had Quinyon.
Yeah, Quinyon. Okay. I don't think that's a bad pick.
Yeah, I feel like he's kind of wasted. Do Jared Verse because Bo was ready to put him in the Hall of Fame.
And we don't know. We don't know if Quinyon Mitchell is just a product of that defensive front seven.
He definitely is.
I think he's a good corner. He's not a top 10 cornerback.
Jared Verse has 12 sacks in 2 years, and we're treating him like those are like Gardeck numbers. And he's a 2-time Pro Bowler. Like 12 sacks in 2 years.
That's so disrespectful. Unbelievable.
You're up.
I'm surprised you didn't take Chop Robinson over Jared Verse.
Chop was good as a rookie for Miami.
Yeah, he's a good player. Are we missing anybody beyond like that was way overlooked in this draft?
I've got a guy I've got holstered.
Is it Tip Ryman?
No, that he went undrafted in my redraft.
Cooper DeJean?
No comment.
Is that who?
He's still a second rounder, though. It's not like he was that far down.
The aura that Cooper DeJean had when we sat down with him at the Super Bowl, and the fact that the Cardinals were like, we don't need him. Shame on them. That guy is a superstar, a stud. He dated Nikki Bella. Cooper DeJean is going to be either the 8th or 9th player in this draft.
Yeah, you were quite smitten by one of the exciting mics there of All City. I think, yeah, I can't get away from Byron Murphy. I mean, he was a big part of the Super Bowl team. I think Atlanta would absolutely love a player his caliber in the interior of that defense. So give me Byron Murphy, the Falcons, instead of taking Michael Penix, 8th overall.
Jesus. Yeah, they haven't been able to replace Grady Jarrett. I like that pick. Chicago Bears, Cooper DeJean, return specialist, slot corner, playmaker, baller from the Midwest, from Iowa, stays in the Midwest and goes to the Chicago Bears. Easy pick for me. Easiest pick I've made so far.
Not bad. And then to round out and try to make up for the mistake at 10 by taking 9 for the Vikings, JJ McCarthy. Who are we looking at here?
It's a tough pick here.
It's probably Quinyon Mitchell.
Yeah, probably. Think
the
about
only other guy like that you can make a case for would be like Fuaga.
What about like a Brian Thomas?
BTJ fell way out of favor with the Jags after his rookie year.
Like none of the tackles are good. I looked up all their PFF grades. They're all average to below average for the last 2 years. Like nobody had that second year jump that like Paris had. They're all fine. Olu Fashion, who honestly is probably the best one. But you just, it's probably Quinyon Mitchell though.
Because you know what? Like, you don't need a receiver there in Minnesota, right? You don't start that. The quarterback, the good quarterbacks are gone. Cardzona saying Zach Frazier, one of the best centers in the league. Not bad.
Where'd he go? Second round, I think.
Out of West Virginia.
I can't remember where he went.
Yeah, Ricky.
No. Never.
Even though we do know history, he'll miss that first year.
Yeah, he was unfortunately shot. I mean,
did Frazier even go ahead of JPJ?
I have no idea.
He went to Pittsburgh, 51st overall. Yeah, Jackson Powers Johnson went before him at the center position. How do you think we did? Yeah, Jop Robinson, I think, should have been in consideration.
He got hurt last year, though. I mean, can't hold. I mean, would you consider? You can't take Neighbors there. Neighbors, when he's healthy, is one of the best players in the draft.
I think given the first round receivers, I would still take Marv. Just given everything we know today.
Isn't that crazy? That's why I wanted to do this exercise.
Like Odunze is dealing with injury problems on his own, inconsistencies on his own. Like Neighbors, we don't know what his future is, and BTJ fell way out of favor. I hear you, Jacob. Like he is legit, but like I don't know if he's going to play this year.
His knee could be and his game's built on movement and creating space and speed. Like that's a real big problem. We talk about, people call us fanboys. Like Marv has the best shot of any of these receivers to have a big year.
Like to start slow, but he needs to find his way at this level.
Right. It's crazy. This was supposed to be one of the best drafts of our professional adult life. All the receivers have underperformed. All the tackles have underperformed. The only position group that has exceeded expectations is the quarterback group.
Yeah.
You got 4 quarterbacks that are good. Like
if you were just going off of like the best player and performances, like I would put Neighbors in that conversation. And it's just like, but you take in what happened to him and how he's, progressed or not from this injury and this surgery. And then it's like BTJ was no doubt about it. He was impressive his rookie year, but something happened. They figured out how to cover him or maybe he just doesn't fit that Jacksonville offense, but other guys did.
Ladd McConkey was hurt last year. Otherwise, he'd probably be in the top 10.
Lambo Ladd.
Let's take a look. The final top 10 in our redraft. I think it's pretty spot on. And I hate that we gave 2 players to Philly.
Who was 10?
Quinyon Mitchell.
Okay.
Who'd you have? Oh, you had Marvin Harrison Jr.?
No, I had both. I just wasn't. You guys were talking a lot.
Drake May, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix. So 4 quarterbacks. Then Joe Alt is the only plug and play that remains with his team. Bowers, Jared Verse, Byron Murphy II, Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell. Man, how many of these guys did not go in the top 10? Six? Yeah, six of them.
Yeah. I think from 6 through 10, like it was all non-top 10 guys.
Well, and number 4 over Bo Nix, or did Bo Nix go 10th overall?
No, he was. Remember, Sean Payton was, puffing his chest out that he got JJ McCarthy to go 10.
Those quarterbacks were really bad at the end of the top 10. Well, the 2024 draft, may it rest in peace, and we never have to talk about it again. Just quickly, some other notable busts from that draft.
I hope that we're talking about, if we do this exercise next year, I hope we're like Marv is firmly back in the top 10.
He could be. He definitely could be. Let's read some quickly. I want to read some players that I loved at the end of the first round that are just horrendous. Xavier Legette could be traded for like a ham sandwich. He's terrible.
Lovable though, as far as just his accent.
He's great. Content elite. Tyler Guyton, who you interviewed at the Senior Bowl, wanted to be a Cardinal, loved Kyler Murray, cannot play. Unfortunately, Darius Robinson not looking good. Keon Coleman, who was trashed by his GM. That was hilarious. Those are some of the names.
What about Terry Arnold? What kind of careers he had?
Not great.
Up and down, right?
Injuries have really hampered his production, and when he's on the field, he's just kind of okay.
How about this? The Cardinals had pick 35. They traded it to Atlanta. They moved down to 43. They took Max Melton at 43. Lassiter, who's a good player for Houston's
really
went ahead of them, and so did Cooper DeJean, and Kool-Aid McKinstry. So the Cardinals watered that puppy down. Max Melton is not Cooper DeJean or Lassiter.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can start with Tavondre Sweat, who was just traded to the Jets from Tennessee. He's a good defensive lineman. Braden Fisk, 2. And then DeJean, Kool-Aid, Kamari.
It was a bad draft for Monty. It was a really bad draft.
Yeah.
Regardless of what happens with Marv, if Marv works out great, that day 2 could be the end of Monty. You have 5 picks and none of them could play. That'd be rough. That's why you got to see it through with Max Melton. All right, that was really fun. We'll probably do that again. I'm glad it was it worth the wait? Did everybody have a good time?
Good job, gang.
All right,
Johnny's like dad on a road trip. What'd you guys think? No, that was fun.
I've been wanting to do that because I wanted to see how it would turn out, and I think we all had to come to football Jesus moment today that draft kind of sucks. It's not very good.
Yeah, it's pretty like you redraft the top 10. You got lots of options though.
Jumping in, super chats, kicking us off. Corey, $4.99. Jacoby holding out is like me knowing AI can easily do my job and demanding more money, or I will go to another company. 100%. I don't know what your job is, Corey, but you're not replaceable to us.
Yeah. Keeping it going with some unknown. Greg Esposito celebrating 9 months. Appreciate that type of loyalty, Greg.
I'm not familiar with you.
Love having you a part of this community. Maybe come around more often. We'd recognize your username. Can we please talk about how Bo didn't defend the good name of the East Valley to Mina Kimes?
Wow.
What do you mean? I did defend it. I did defend it.
Let's give some context. The local, what I thought was the staple of Valley print journalism, put together an article today that was the equivalent of my 6-year-old writing in her first grade class, an article criticizing Mike LaFleur's hair.
Yeah,
which Bo rightfully came to his defense.
I did.
Like you white knighted LaFleur today and defended him. And then Mina Kimes, after I boosted the post because she followed me, and I boosted the post today, he slid into Bo's responses and talked about that conversation was the definition of East Valley or something.
That's right. That's right. It was coded East Valley, no doubt about it. It was look, we're using time and resources in paying people over at the local paper to put together articles of criticizing our head football coach's hair. And it comes under fire quite often. Old Mike LaFleur's hairdo. And I'll go to war for him with that.
That article has 0 likes and 0 retweets and just comments on it.
So we just say that maybe me quote tweeting it was the best engagement it received. Otherwise, it would have died without anybody knowing it existed.
Tough look there for the Print Valley staple.
But thank you, unknown viewer to PHNX Cardinals, Greg Esposito, in your loyalty for 9 months.
I love this profile picture of Espo on here. Fox Sports Espo with a bow tie. Bring that back. Roberto 199. I just want to see offensive competence for Mike. I think you will.
That when we were talking about what a successful first season would look like for Mike, that would be a big part of it. I agree, Roberto. Just looking at the offense and it looking, modern and up to snuff. And if the defense were to fall short again, like you at least could play that back and forth game with your offensive part of your team.
Reese, $10. As of right now, I think Minshew should be the week 1 starter. And if he's winning, 3-0, keep him. But if he starts losing 1-2, Beck week 4 against the Giants, see where he takes us. I mean, 3-0, they'd be the talk of the NFL. But I'm with you. I think if you're dead set on starting a veteran, I think Minshew's earned it. And I think Jacoby Brissett is overplayed his hand significantly.
If Gardner Minshew is named starter and he beats in a row the Chargers, the Seahawks, and the 49ers, they're going to build a damn statue.
Well, we may never see Carson back. He may never emerge. Might as well ship him out of here if that happens.
You met with the dude, this mix between Jake Plummer and Matthew McConaughey. If he's a winning quarterback, like what this fan base would do for Gardner Minshew.
They would get Plummer and he would do a bit. It would be hilarious and well-deserved. I'd be all in. Yeah. Because, you're not going to build around him, but, a lightning in a bottle for a year.
Yeah.
You went 9-7 a couple years ago. Steel Fit. Thank you, Reese, for that generous super chat. $5. I'm going to go on record and say we win minimum 10 games. Wow. Feels like that kind of year. Great coverage, y'all. Best cards media out there. Rise up, Red Sea. Brother, I need your confidence and your support in this team. I mean, he'd have to be another Bruce Arians for that to happen.
I love it. And I like that he enjoys our coverage because obviously we're looking at it. We're thinking 10 wins isn't a possibility, but that's where you've got a very informed listener or viewer here, where it's just this is not the worst team in the NFL, right? No. That there is talent on this roster, and with good coaching and consistent quarterback play, which that's most of my skepticism comes from. That's where I think that it's the uphill climb, but we appreciate it. Steel Fit. Thank you so much. Revisiting this banger of $100 super chat.
Let's go.
Ranger, the GOAT. Well, if we win 1 to 2 games before the bye, they will be trading players away to tank.
I mean, they'll be trading players away. It really depends on the quarterback situation, Ranger, because I think if they feel like the quarterback play is good from Beck, then they won't feel the urgency to get a high pick. But if the quarterback play is bad, then they're going to be like, what can we sell off? What armchair can we ship out of here? What end table to get assets for the draft next year? So I think you're right, but a lot of it is going to be dependent on the optics. Desert Vulture also came in with a $5 gifted membership. Excuse me, $5 gifted memberships, not $5. I love that one. I love Desert Vulture just peeping over the mountains there. Creeping. Arizona Cardinals, $199. Jacoby Brissett. Huzzah! I like it.
Native Trader keeps it going here. $10. Thank you, Native Trader.
Steal that.
Kingsbury went 5-10-1 first year. Gannon went 4-13 year one. Mike LaFleur with Beck, Love, MHJ, McBride, Connor has a good chance to match pass both if things click this season. JB can stay on the golf course.
That's right, he can. Cardinal fans don't want to see him playing. They have no appetite in that. Are we overestimating? There are people in this market that say we overestimate what Carson Beck can do. I disagree. He's played a ton of college football. He's ready to play. He's ready to play.
I don't know if he's ready to play, but he will play at some point this season.
I think he was going to play a lot of games.
I agree. That's what I just said. Go. Jacoby Brissett going to win MVP. You watch, JB.
Listen, if Jacoby Brissett makes this team relevant, I will get on the show. I will do a series of apologies. I will get on social media. I will do an apology. I'll do an apology tour. It's like John Cena's retirement tour, but mine will be an apology tour where I go from platform to platform, apologizing and professing my love for Jacoby Brissett. But I feel very confident, go, that will not be taking place in the year of our football Lord 2024. 2027. I don't care how this team gets good. Get good. Stop losing.
Right.
Just losing too much.
Yeah, we'll eat a lot of crow and humble pie for that. Willingly. We'll take that on. Yep. I'll have my crow cooked several different ways. Indigenous Daddy, if they somehow go 500 before the bye, they can realistically stack wins after the bye and get into the 7th spot in the playoffs. Could be done.
That's where this season has a chance to get really fun. Walk with me here. If they steal games they're not supposed to win, and knowing what the last quarter of the season looks like, you could be sneaking up in that hunt area, which this team has no business on that graphic. You know that graphic in the hunt late in the year, and then you see the fraud Cardinals sitting there. Can they get to? Can they win 3 or 4 games before the bye? That'd be incredible. That would be incredible. Jeff, $10. Happy Pride 11th month, or happy day 11 Pride month. Excuse me, Jeff. Happy Pride month to you as well. As a struggling writer before you guys were born, I wrote a Golden Girls script saying so gay. Hey, listen, Golden Girls is for everybody. I got an Emmy nomination. Well, congratulations. I'm always rooting for the underdog. Beck's that here and now. What was the Golden Girls theme song? Do you remember that one?
Oh,
now I'm getting it all mixed up with
I got you.
What?
We're the Golden Girls.
No, stop.
No,
B. Arthur.
Yeah.
Right.
Then
Blanche. Which always surprises me is they show the ages of the Golden Girls when they were doing that show.
Yeah.
And they weren't as old as you originally thought they were.
B. Arthur, wasn't she in her 40s?
Something like that.
Blanche was in her 40s, and they're look at this grandma. Then the grandma was hilarious. What was her name? Was it
Estelle?
Sophia? Yeah, Estelle. She was great. She was the best part.
Our guy Terry. Thank you, Jeff. And congrats. That's awesome. Nominated for an Emmy. Elite. Terry just wanted to check in on the Best Cards pod. Thanks, fellas. Appreciate you, Jeff. Terry.
Thank you, T. Clary. I can't deal with Brian's comment. Don't put it on the screen, Noah. Desert Vulture, $5.
Dorothy was one of them.
Yeah.
Is that what Josh is saying?
PHNX Sports is number 1. Thank you. Thank you.
A lot of Golden Girls ball knowledge in here.
100%. I love it when I entertain Noah knowing that for 10 seconds too long, because I'm there's no way he knows what the Golden Girls is, their theme song. That was a mistake that we all waited for Noah to just fraud it up. Brian P, $5. Does Monty monitor the fan base? He has to know how fans feel about Jacoby Brissett. Monty can't really afford for fans to be out in pitchforks out in front of Tempe. I think Monty just is not good at signing free agents.
I just saw Brian's previous non-super
chat. It's good. I mean, they're all on social media because we had a source, we still do. And I would put things out and they would say, be careful. They see everything. They're on social media. They all have burners. They're all on social media. They monitor everything. Executives, people in the front office, coaches, they're on their phones like the rest of us. So I guarantee you, Brian, he knows. But did he not check Twitter before? Did he think people were going to like this move? That's the scary part, is he thought this would be people will love this. Bringing back Jacoby.
D Flash saying top 5. Is it thank you for being a friend? Is that the?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Thank you for being a friend.
Stop
We're the
it.
Golden Girls.
Wow. Yes, that's from. I mean, like Betty White was in her 40s on that show, and they're like, this show is basically at an elderly community center.
She could have been in her 40s. She died like in her late 90s.
Well, that show is
All right, the early 90s.
How old was Betty White on the Golden Girls? Oh, she was 63 years old. I'm sorry. Why did I think she was in her 40s? All right, here are the ages. Now it's saying 55, 53, 53, 79. I don't know if you can trust Google. Blanche was 53.
Yeah, you go in Old Town Scottsdale and you see women the same age, and it's not
Hey
the
now.
same look.
Hey now. Some good procedures being done out here. Keeping people young and alive for a long time.
Good genes.
That's not it.
Yeah, I mean, like, get back to the Brissett thing. It's one more time. Let's take a look at current state of the Cardinals quarterback, holding out quarterback. Here he is stepping up to the tee box. One thing you can be rest assured is no contract is being negotiated at this point. No team is overpaying at this point. So that's day one of Jacoby watch. I think you can feel pretty confident that
Slice.
the team is not going to be paying him starting quarterback money.
Should we give a little announcement today? We forgot about our announcement.
Yeah, let's do it if we're still allowed after the string of shows we've had. But no, we are pumped to announce that tomorrow we are going to be actually joined by two members of the Arizona Cardinals 2026 NFL draft class. We're going to be joined by second-round pick Mauler Chase Basantis, Johnny, and sixth-round pick linebacker special teams ace Carson Shire. They're going to be joining us.
Fired up. They're going to be in studio with us. They're going to make us feel very small. Chase Basantis in line to, we think, start, and get some Hawkeyes love later on in the day. So both those interviews will drop during tomorrow's show. Bolo and I'll be in studio. We'll be hanging out with two Cardinal draft picks that we would assume we're going to have big opportunities this year. So thank you to the Cardinals reaching out to this little fanboy podcast and saying, we got some rookies that want to speak to you.
That's right. If you tune in for anything, just tune in for the size disparity between Johnny and Chase Basantis.
We're the same. We're the same size.
Yeah. And try not to ask Carson about Cooper DeJean too early in our interview. Would you please?
I don't think I can. I think because they took Carson, they know that they made a mistake, and that's them course correcting.
You're like, how much aura did Cooper DeJean have at Iowa? That's going to be your first question for Carson Shire, who's deserves a much better first question.
Basantis has the best footwork of any guard at the combine that I've seen, maybe ever. So go and watch his combine highlights tomorrow. We're going to talk to him about that. T. Clear asking, am I going to supply the Michelob Ultra? Wouldn't it be great if the Cardinals just sat down and then we just start cracking beers and they'd be like, what is this? And they'd walk up and leave.
It'd be elite. But bad news, they just texted me with the idea they're not coming any longer because of that.
And the Golden Girls song. That's what tipped them off. Thank you, guys. Banner show today on a Thursday. Hit that like button. Subscribe. What do you got?
Yeah, I think Noah should play us out with his Golden Girls theme now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We're the Golden Girls. Something about being friends. See you 4:30 tomorrow. Bye.
You're the worst.
We all silly like the mayor.